Welcome to Devotions from Israel, a 5-minute word of encouragement. Today's devotion comes from Ezekiel 47. Eschatology. That's a big word used in seminaries to train pastors and teachers. Eschatology. What does it mean? It simply means the doctrine of last things. Now, there's many passages in the Bible that have significant meaning towards eschatology, implying that there's many passages that can be interpreted one of several ways. In fact, when there is a passage that deals with the end times, if there's one view in terms of how it would be fulfilled, there's probably 10 other views as well. Sometimes there's not an agreement at all as to how Scripture will be fulfilled. Well, Ezekiel chapter 40 through 48 is one of those passages. Did Ezekiel see a vision of a new temple, much larger, apparently, based on the specific dimensions given? Or is this symbolic language? Now, perhaps the former is a better approach as we talk about how Ezekiel saw something that will literally be fulfilled in God's perfect timing. So he envisions a river flowing out of Jerusalem, and this river is now flowing east towards the Dead Sea. Let's pick up the story or the narrative in chapter 47. So when I arrived there, as Ezekiel speaking, I saw a great number of trees on each side of the river. And he said to me, "This water flows towards the eastern region and goes down into the Arava, where it enters the Dead Sea. When it enters into the sea, the salty water there becomes fresh." And let me just stop here and say that the Dead Sea today is 33% salt and mineral. You can't sink if you are in it. You simply float like a log on the water. There is no life in the Dead Sea. Ezekiel continued. Verse 9, "Swarms of living creatures will live wherever the river flows. There will be large numbers of fish, because this water flows there and makes the salt water fresh. So where the river flows, everything will live. Fishermen will stand along the shore from En-Gedi to En-Eglaim. There will be places for spreading nets, and the fish will be of many kinds, like the fish of the Mediterranean Sea." So what encouraging word can we find in Ezekiel 47? Well, perhaps and foremost, we have a certainty that God is in control of the end times. Indeed, if this is fulfilled literally, we can see it happening. In fact, some of the photos behind me are different views of this Dead Sea. Incidentally, it's about 900 feet deep today, and this northern part of the Dead Sea is about 35 miles in length. There is a more shallow southern end as well. But perhaps we can take joy and encouragement in that as God is in control of the end times, He also flows the river of His grace and goodness into our lives as well. Now, the Dead Sea, of course, is right on the edge of the Judean desert, where there is hardly any rain at all. Nothing really lives in the desert other than when it does rain a few times, and you might see a few green patches here and there. But we all experience the sort of the dry seasons of life. So when the river of God's goodness flows towards us, just like maybe feeling like the Dead Sea, God can bring life back into every situation that we face. God is in control of the present and the future, and God is in control of your life as well. So allow the river of God's goodness to flow into your life, and may He bring revival and renewal to those dead seasons, those dry seasons of life that are so difficult to journey through. And yet God cares for you as He cares for everyone who trusts in Him. Be encouraged today. Until next time, shalom.